Do we just do it? Unlocked Wurmkin. New clan unlocked. Wurmkin. Resurrect the reclusive Wurmkin. These keepers of Titan lore and history bring the power they've stored over millennia of dedicated study and isolation. Good lord. There's a lot going on visually with this one. Oh man. Alright, what do we got here? Spine Sheath starts as a 3 size 520. Also has Sharded as a base spell. Apply Reap 2. Reap. At the end of turn, the unit takes damage equal to the amount of gems for each stack of Reap. Shards. Shards. That's got to be the shard symbol. Add shards by playing infused cards. The Wurmkin use shards to power spells and abilities. Shards can exceed negative shards, but excess shards will be removed at the end of the turn. That's... I'm gonna have to learn that when we go. Nothing I can do about that at the moment. And then just give it a random clan too. Start at 15. I'm already confused? Do not worry. We will be confused together. Okay, Shard Trap. Apply Reap 1 to all enemy units. So the Power of Knowledge, deal 20 damage for each spell in the Consume pile. And 2 Rituals of Battle in the base deck. Seraph the Chased is our final. Talus and Fell are the starts. Take on Pact. Okay, so that's the shard symbol. So it's different. Take on Pact Shards in exchange for rewards. The more you have, the more powerful your enemies will grow. If you defeat Seraph with 100 or more, you'll unlock the true final battle. Wait, so you defeat Seraph with 100 or more, and then you go on. It doesn't replace Seraph. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so it is very much like a heart as well. I like it. I like it. Having the final one based around like some sort of curse that you've taken over the course of the run. I don't know if I can think of an example of a game that does that. If any of you are about to say that Hades does it, do not tell me that, because I don't know anything about the Hades endgame yet. I've been purposefully staying blind. Is this Rhapsody's first run? Yeah. I'm completely blind to all of it. Strike. Gain an... Okay, so it's a completely different resource that is just stacked alongside. Got it. Gain that. Gain of that. Gain of whatever that is. Charged Echo? Oh! Okay, so charged echoes and then non-charged echoes. So it's like echoes and then capacity of echoes, or is it echoes and then expended echoes? But if you strike, you gain 1. Also gets a good stat buff there. And the corrupt friendly units have 5 extra damage per shard. So these things in the base deck. Look at that border. I didn't put that on there. Hell of a border though. So add by playing infused cards. Okay, wait, so these are infused. They aren't just... Oh, okay, so all of these cards are infused. So what makes them infused? How do you infuse a card? Check your relic, that's a good idea. Clan starter cards are infused. Thank you. 1 card in each draft pack will be infused. The current floor will gain a shard as well. Sorry, an echo. Okay, so it's not a meta resource, and it's not like a broader than a single floor resource, effectively. So this begs the question, how do I, prompts the question, sorry. How do I best utilize this? Am I going to be just gaining a bunch of shards? Trying to use, like, imps to gain a bunch of shards and then give multi-strike to the Spine Chief somehow? I'll just take the big one to start off with here. Gain an artifact and 15. So if I touch this Divine Hoard, it immediately just gives me the 15 and then I get a relic? Or do I get a choice? Conscription Notice. When you first summon your champion, gain a random unit card with +10/+10 and -1. Okay, so I said I'm going in completely blind. There are some artifacts that I know. And this is one of them. It's rad. Seems like a really, really cool artifact. Yes, but you get a choice of 3 relics. When you summon your champion, it gets +30% HP. This is the first time. There's one that does that, and then there's one that does that with damage as well. This is the first time that I have seen percentage as a modifier here for anything other than gold. Particularly interesting. Rhapsody, how come you don't play with the lore tooltip on? It's not really relevant to how I play. I, like, as long as the game passes, like, a visual quality test muster for me, I very seldom think about the lore or any of the worlds at all. I probably know almost nothing about the Slay the Spire world. At all. I know a lot about the game. Couldn't tell you anything about the story of it. The lore of the game is very good, but very playable without. Yeah, no, I've heard that the lore is extremely, extremely good, but it's just not necessarily relevant to me. That's, he sees mechanics, not pictures. Yeah, exactly, Shadowblood. That's, like, probably the best way to say it is those kinds of things, very quickly fall away from me. Faulty Loader. Apply Daze 3 to enemy units on the bottom floor of the first wave of combat. So literally just... No, first wave of combat. Only the first wave of combat. The first wave of combat is typically a lot less big than the rest of the waves. I thought this was all of the time, and they just wouldn't hit any of your units, and it was just kill them before they get to the pyre. Raps, did you see that some big streamers streamed Project Winter? I did, actually. I'm kind of hoping that as people are a little impatient for more Among Us, or rather more maps in Among Us, they start experimenting with things like Project Winter. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. I think Project Winter has kind of shot itself in the foot a little bit with its really, really, really high base price. I don't think it's not justified, by the way. I think it is very justified. But when you're playing a game that relies on having a very, very large community and also convincing a lot of your friends to buy it at the same time so that you can play it together, it's the price point becomes a little contentious. It was like 40 or 50 for me when I bought it. Did I buy it or did I get a key? I think I may have gotten a key, but it was expensive. So I don't know if it's necessarily been changed down yet. But yeah, Market of Exile just seems reasonable. Spine Chief is quite large already. 30% extra on top of that is going to be about 9 health. Well, is 9 health worth... Oh, Guildmark is way better than that, right? I want to take the new relic, but Guildmarker was just better. Threat level. As you gain more shards, more enemies before the boss will be upgraded, and the boss itself will grow stronger. These includes bonus damage, HP, status effects, and abilities. Got it. First run? Yes, it is, Myrai. Sorry. Myrai? Wait. I got you confused. A while ago, Myrai, I got you confused with Myrai, who is a Lolash viewer. So that's why I was pronouncing your name wrong for a really long period of time. Is it Myrai? Project Winter is currently $20 USD on Steam. Okay, cool. So they actually they did that. They took that in stride and lowered the price. I'm glad to hear it. Wouldn't take this challenge though for the unit draft though. I would. 100%. Because it's a unit dropped. Chaos Glory, thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription for the 9th month. It says, haha, worm go brr. Subscription go brr. Thanks, go brr. Hopefully emotes go brr too. Welcome to the Republic, bud. Or welcome back, rather. How can you deal with armor? I can't. I don't care to deal with armor. I will trade happily 30 of my HP for a unit right now. Build up charged echoes to empower Wurmkin units and spells on that floor. Echoes that exceed the maximum available will disappear at the end of the turn. Play infused cards, excuse me, to add to that floor. Wurmkin starting artifact Wormtooth applies infused starter cards, and 1 card per draft. Okay. So I have the ability to gain a lot of infuse on the bottom line, right? Spine Chief goes down, Queen's Impling. Probably put the Queen's Implings maybe behind. But I don't actually want them behind. I want them to die. Spine Chief is going to get me another unit as well, so I should probably just play that down early. But the thing is, I have the ability to gain a lot of charged echoes, not the ability to use it though. When played, the current floor will gain 1. Unit takes damage equal to the amount for each stack of Reap. But Reap doesn't decrease after turns. So place your bet, people. I think you might die here. I think it's much more interesting to try and think about the ways I might succeed. It does not. Okay, it doesn't decrease. Interesting. What do you do when the worm is the secondary class? You won't get the starter artifact, right? That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. Do I have confidence of winning the first run? Yep. But floor 2 has no echoes, it's true. Floor 2 has no echoes, but if I start playing down things like Queen's Implings... I mean, look. The easiest thing to do here is Spine Chief on this floor, Train Steward on the bottom floor, and then double Queen's Impling. Reap on floors without gems does no damage. Got it. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big unit. Does it just go on the top floor, though? Just preempting a collector? I'm not going to take this long on everything. It's going to take a moment, you know? No, as far as I can tell, the candies that go over the limit stay until the end of combat, meaning in the Relentless phase it does not disappear, but also Reap does not activate until the end of that, meaning it's not as powerful during the second Relentless phase. Oh, okay, yeah, so Reap isn't, like, triggering every fight. Forgot about the random minion, TBH? Yep. It's the reason you don't call an early negative GG, literally before a card has been played. Actually, just gonna go Train Suit on the top and then drop an Inkling behind here. Set myself up for the AoE Reap that I have access to. Ooh, Trusted Priest. It has an Extinguish trigger to deal 5 damage to our front unit. It absorbs the next spell, and it restores 10 health rather than 5. Neat. Also has 10 health rather than 1. Could have been an unplayable Shadow Siege as well? No, it couldn't have been. So I know for a fact that this can only give you units that you are capable of using. I was told that. Can we get a clarification from any of the folks who've played this significantly? Okay, let's get another one of these on this floor. Sharded. I know Shadow Siege isn't in there. I'm gonna trust Amphids on this one. Yes, it's Shadow Siege isn't in the list. It can only make 2 size units, I believe. Can get a unit from any clan. Yeah, that is true, EO says. You can get... Alright, EO, so I'm noticing that this is probably going to be a problem. Please listen to the people who know more than you. And that might not be me, right? I'm blind on this, but Amphids definitely does. Otherwise, this is just going to get a real frustrating experience for everyone involved. Power of Knowledge. 20 for each spell in the consume pile. Neat, neat. Probably try and draft towards that a little bit. So I was kind of hoping of just using like a bunch of Reaps on this bottom floor. That's not necessarily going to be the way that we actually do anything now, though. Get that one down, and then we literally just have healers. Although the Trusted Priest still does need to die, if at all possible. So... let's kill you there, because otherwise you'll have the 5 hit back on the pyre. Nice. One enemy units. Actual battle is a decent amount more damage right now. How many flows of combat are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. It's pretty huge. There are some lovely new ways of breaking the video game nowadays. You know that is a song that makes my heart sing. I mean, we're fine, right? Mm-hmm. 1, 2. No damage taken. Alright. Echo Infusion. Extract 1. As an additional cost to play this card, echoes will be spent. Interesting. So extract 1 to apply 10 extra HP. That's not insignificant. I mean, there is a rare card in the Awoken, and I know, don't compare across clans. Like, I'm gonna be talking about that a lot as we start talking about the patches and balance and stuff like that later on. But there is a 3-cost rare in Awoken that I take specifically just because I want extra HP. 10 extra HP. That's really good. Shard Trap, yep, we've already seen that. Returned Soul Infused. Return a spell card from the discard pile to your hand and apply Infused, -1 cost, and Consume. Can a card be double infused? Can a card be double infused such that it creates 2? No. Echo Infusion seems like it might just be great. The Returned Soul, pretty appealing. So what, if I gave Returned Soul Holdover? I was about to say Ghost. You can't give it Ghost, this is not Vault of the Void. If I gave it Holdover, that would just be kind of charging up my entire deck, right? No, unless I'm hitting non-infused cards consistently, which I'm not. Return Soul with the 20 damage thing looks cool. It does. It does. It definitely does. This gives me the ability to actually start consuming my own cards, but Echo Infusion just seems very, very powerful. And one thing I know about this game is that the commons are not bad. They're, in fact, really important. And you don't get any more commons after your second battle. So when a common seems really good, it's the time to take that common. Fledgling Imp, Hornbreak, and Vent are here. Vent is our first access to AoE. Well, actually, no, it's not, right? The Shard Trap on a floor with Infusers is already one of those. Haven't played this game. Can use Morsels, Return Soul, and the card we saw that does damage for every discarded card be used together. Haven't played this game. Can you use Morsels, Return soul, and the card we saw that does damage for every discarded card be used again. I'm not necessarily certain I understand the question. Reap does damage through spell shields? Yes. Yeah. It's not spell damage that it's applying. It's applying a negative debuff to the enemy that then gets damage applied to them. In the same way that Frostbite still triggers, this is fine. I want Vent just to have some more access to AoE that I don't need setup for. Show unit essences. So is this just like... What? Okay. I'm not necessarily certain I understand that. Okay, unit essences plus 30, plus 30, plus... Summon, fly 2... Is unit essences going to be explained to me at some point? Because if it is, not necessarily by chat, but if it'll be explained to me in the game, I'll happily just continue until it is. You'll understand a bit? Cool. Bog Chrysalis, Shell 5, Hatch, summon 2 Bogfly units. So Shell is... Unit will hatch when all Shell has been removed. Hatch triggers when all stacks of Shell have been removed. Charged Echoes are used to remove Shell at the end of the turn. And then the summoned unit, the Bogflies, are kin. They are 1 size. They have 5 damage per charge. And they are 0/5s by base. Okay, so this would be a good unit to put behind the dude that I got, the Spine Chief, right? Divine Temple. It's also a Wurmkin unit over on this side, Hellhaunt unit on this side. Honestly, I'm probably going to want to go for a Wurmkin unit because I'm going to try and make this a more Wurmkin heavy deck so that I can kind of understand what they're all about. Okay. This all looks normal to me. Do love a good large stone though. Hopefully we find someone to put it on. Kinhost Carapace. Summon. +10/+10 and 1 capacity per echo. But that happens after it's summoned. So if I have 1 space left on a floor, can I put a Kinhost Carapace there and then it gets bigger after it's put down? Yeah, it'll fit. Okay, love that. There's also Kinhost Vessel, is some of the Kinhost Pupa. Kinhost Pupa is 2 size. Strike, apply Reap 2 to enemy units. And it is a 50/10. But it's Shell 8. Myray, that's a really good point. Ashes of the Fallen is available because we're playing the Hellhaunt. So the Double Sun Relic is in play. I'm probably going to go with the Kinhost Carapace. It seems like a pretty good play. How do I support it best in my deck, right? Just play a bunch of infused cards on a floor that doesn't necessarily need them? That doesn't feel like a good way to do it. Kinhost Carapace plus Double Summon is what Rito used to break the game. I almost want to take this instead for that reason, because, like, you know, that's explored territory a little bit. But if I wasn't told that, I would take this, so... Which is best, the large stone? Well, I mean, considering this one is gonna, like, be removed after it hatches, right? Probably this one. And just immediately large stone it. Seems right. Upgrades carry over to hatched. Wait, do they... Okay, do they carry over to the... Hang on. Wait a second. Are you telling me that would have carried over to the Bog Chrysalis's Bogflies? Like both of them? Because it gets 2. All hatched units. Oh, yikes. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. I wonder if that means I just throw 2 more upgrades on people. So this one's eventually going to want, like, multi-strike. Bog Crystals is probably also going to want multi-strike, but this is never going to be a frontliner, and because it's never going to be a frontliner, I think it can hold Strength Stone happily. Shop upgrades carry over, attack and health enhances carry over, and synthed abilities carry over. Synthed abilities. I imagine I'm going to learn more about that in the near future. I think I'm going to hold the rest of my money here rather than get Rage 7 though. Go to the thing in the center. Perfect. This is where I learn about it. Seek Stone. Upgrade a spell to become intrinsic. Okay. I have been arguing that there needs to be the ability to upgrade a card to have it in your opening hand for so long. Because that's my playstyle. I want to be able to play what I planned on turn 1 and 2 and then hit E until I win the game. Engage Pact. Sacrifice a unit to infuse its essence into another unit. Huh. So if I kind of want to press the button, but I also kind of don't want to press the button. If I synth a unit that has a buff on it, do I then get that buff on the other one as well? Like the gem? Buff is lost? Okay, buffs are lost. Not done the unit. Right. Upgrades are destroyed and lost. Much appreciated. And then there's the value stone as well. Upgrade a spell to cost -2. -2. Oh god, that could make a ritual battle pretty good. Alright, let's check our road. There's a hell vent up next to a Wurmkin Banner. I have the ability to, like, -2 the cost of a ritual battle and then go to the next area and use it. Can you take all of these? I mean, I theoretically could, but I probably want to leave myself the ability to use pack shards later, right? The value stone seems like it will make infinites much easier. Kind of, a little bit. The fact that they changed double stack to have double stack +1 on its costs means this kind of just brings that back to parity a little bit. So can you synth onto champion? I don't know. Apparently no. Heads up, upgrades don't get passed on for the Bog Chrysalis' synth effect. If you put its effect on a unit, the flies are unupgraded. Right. I think I might either value stone or hold here. I'm gonna value stone and pass. Threat level's a little bit higher. Non-boss enemies getting 4 extra damage. But there's a unit draft. Units that have a synthed ability cannot be sacrificed in the Divine Temple. Can I sacrifice a bunch of units to the same unit and have it synthed with a bunch of abilities? Woo! Disciple Foot Soldier, look at him. Being real mean up there. Okay. So Spine Chief and the Bog Chrysalis are going to go on the top floor. No, one per. Okay, thank you. So Sharded easily just goes on you. That'll get our kill. And in fact, if I then did a second Sharded, I'd be able to get the kill on the second as well. But that happens after combat, right? At the end of the turn, yeah, so I don't want to do it on that floor yet. I'm gonna probably let the Lady of the House cycle into the deck here. What's his essence? Essence? I don't know what the word essence means. Essence isn't good though. Okay. Wasn't that gonna kill that? I was pretty sure that was gonna kill that. Essence is the trait the unit passes on when Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it was 2 for every. No, never mind. I understand why I did that now. Then Bog Chrysalis goes here. I need to start building up on that floor, I guess. Have the ability to Echo Infuse here. Don't really want to buff my enemy, so I think we'll pass. Okay, interesting. Single shard trap as well as a sharded solves this flaw. The only problem now is the Disciple Protector lives. And the Spine Chief dies. Okay, Kinho's Carapace definitely goes on the bottom floor as well. Sweep through there. Yeah, I really should have been playing the hatch on the bottom floor behind a unit. I'll get to understand these. It'll take a beat, but I'll get there. Then honestly, just Ritual Battle there is going to be already enough to kill the boss. So I'm not going to take any more damage. Just the damage this is Disciple Protector. Alright, so I wrote a Twitch bot that tells you a unit's sync ability when prompted. If you want that, I can invite it over here. Feel free to say no. I imagine it'd get annoying. I would want to have a quick look at it, but yeah, that definitely sounds like something I'd be interested in. Good, good, good so far. Really thought I was already going to kill this. Ryan Sharded, hello NL fans. What up? Good to see you. I've often said one of the saddest things about doing LPs is how little of NL I now get to watch because I spend so much more of my time just doing this. Got him. 9 damage taken. Could have been a lot worse. Got our unit drop though. Bogfly. Okay, so this is the one that comes out of the other. Says 5 per shard. Got it. Consume implies infused, or sorry, apply rather, infused to cards in hand. Interesting, and it's gonna get a lot better as we have more and more cards that aren't already themselves infused. Hosting can extract 1 infused. So it does it in that order, right? Extracts 1 and then infuses. So this isn't already free. Deals 13 damage to a unit and move it back. I like the ability to just, you know, smack a unit. But this is going to get better as I take more cards. And because we're playing the first run, I'm going to take a lot more cards. Infused is before extract. Okay, wait. So this already played... Then why? Why is what if infused and extracts happen at the same time? Why does this have either of those on it? Oh, because it's infused from. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Right? I'll get there eventually. Show unit essences. Summon armor 10 and apply armor 10 to friendly units. I mean, that's just piercing, right? That's piercing, and piercing is good. I'll take it. Ooh! Okay, okay. Well, we have to take the deranged route because I have 2 Rituals of Battle in the base deck. Although we are up against Seraph the Chase at the very end, as long as we set up on the top floor and have, like, reasonable rage generation, we're completely fine. But, first of kin. Etch. Triggers when a card is consumed on this floor. A card is consumed on this floor. So I know that when units die, they count as being consumed. Is this counting unit deaths? Well, non-cardless unit deaths as well as consumed spells? No, only spells? Okay. Well, maybe it should say spell then. Friendly units includes itself, so Rage Imp Essence is 9 plus Rage. It's plus 9 Rage. Yes. Yeah, because the summon is friendly units on the floor. Press F8 and tell them. Any cards consumed from hand. Oh, actually, Beastmaster, that's a good point. If I play this and I play Sacrificial Resurrection, is that going to do it? Is that going to trigger them? Yes. Okay. So it's a card consumed from hand. I can think of no other mechanic than Sacrificial Resurrection that does that to minions, but maybe there are more. I think while a dead unit goes to the consume pile, they're not consumed. Yeah, that's the thing that's confusing me here, Justice Tom. Definitely. What's this essence? That's a good question. Edge plus 5. Rally. Apply Rage 2 to friendly units. That's neat. That's really neat. We're going for the deranged brute 100%. Divine Boons. Gain 100 gold and also 10 pack shards. There's also the Hell Vent over there that I've specifically been gunning for. What's the card called again that consumes all cards for an enhanced draft? Sacrificial Resurrection. That's the one I'm talking about, Shadowblood. Let's look at the Wurmkin Banner first. I'm hoping that the Concealed Caverns gives me either the new event or the ability to upgrade my Ritual of Battle further, and then I'll have the ability to just dupe it. Or Chrysalis Kinhost Carapace, we've seen these two before. No, thank you. I don't want to be a Spike Driver deck, but they start with Multi-Strike. The automatic rail spikes become consumed, don't they? I love that taking a unit to sacrifice it is a consideration now. It's true. It's true. It is. I don't know what the essence of Spike Drivers is. Can you put essence on Spike Drivers? Oh, right? Right? Oh my god. Do essence take a unit buff slot? Rhapsody, do you have the lore tooltips on? No, I don't. Do essences take a spot? Compendium should blah blah blah. Where are we? So, no, not Wurmkin. Clanless. They take the essence slot. Okay. Okay. Do we sacrifice the deranged brute to upgrade the Spike Driver colonies to give each other rage when they get played on the same floor? What's that weak against? What is that weak against? Because all of them are going to have rally, right? It's weak in the final fight. I'll tell you that. It's really bad in the final fight. Because all of them are just going to lose all of their rage before we even fight. Right, the Seraph is just going to kill him. Would I have the ability to rejuvenate their rage? Well, maybe with imps. Maybe I could do it with imps. Let's quickly Spike Driver Colony. What up? How do I look at someone's essence from here? Yeah, but you have a whole run to figure out a way to kill Seraph. While I do, if I overdraft in the direction of something else, it becomes a problem. You can't in the logbook? Okay, sorry. Welder Helper on it would have been amazing. Yeah, Welder Helper would have been really, really good for the HP, but it wouldn't have really supported their damage, right? That's why I offered the Twitch bot before. I appreciate that. I may take you up on that offer after the run. By the way, to those of you on YouTube who are watching at the moment, sorry about the slow pace a little bit, but, you know, learning the new mechanics, so I got to run a couple of these things by the people who happen to know them a lot better than I do. Okay. I'm doing it. I'm 100% doing it. This run is already 40 minutes. Yeah. Oh, there's a reason I'm doing a 6-hour stream, and it's so I can get a second run in. Divine Boons, 100, no. Hellvent, yes. Now, here's a pitch. Here's a pitch. We dupe the Deranged Brute, and we eat one of them, and then the other one goes on the floor with the Wurmkins. You can check the essences here. Yeah. It's that rally effect that is really going to make this nuts. Where is it? Where is the... Oh, can I not dupe the Spike Driver? +1/+1 at Endless. Whatever, that's not actually good. What if you did Queen Imp and did 40 damage per driver? That's like... That's fine until it suddenly isn't and isn't doing enough at all, is the problem with that. So what am I passing up to do this? I'm passing up duping a ritual battle that's been double cost reduced. That ritual battle does not have to be duped now. It can be duped later. We're going. Talon Malin, thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription. Enjoy your emotes in chat. Welcome to the Republic. Let's actually get the... Oh, the alert box is coming out of my shoulder at the moment. Perfect. Do I wait until the second cycle before I play the Kinho's characters? Is that the play? Slay trigger, gain 25 armor. Obviously, with a clergyman, I'm going to want to set up as high as possible in order to actually sustain the health of my units. So the Spine Chief goes up on the top. The ability to start growing. I mean, that gives us the longest period of time before we have to put the Kinho's characters down as well. But it does kind of rely on me not playing any other units on that floor. I have the ability to start infusing the bottom floor, which actually might be a really good idea, right? Because then I have the ability to start killing them with the Spike Trap. Did he just skip the Divine Middle? Yeah, I did. Because it was 100 gold for 10 shards, pack shards. Did you miss the Divine Middle? No, I avoided it because it was 100 gold and I didn't need it. Spine Chief goes top. That's one hell of a silo fight right there. I almost want to just play it. Maybe on bottom floor. Only takes 9 damage this turn. Have to try and defend it next turn though. It'd be a good unit to go behind like the Kinho's characters or something. Do you want to try the new boss? I do, yeah, but we've got a long while yet, yo. We can spend like a solid 50 in a single shot. I do not need to do it all now. Are we going to the Divine or the Seraph win? 100% the Divine. I'd rather die on the Divine than beat the Seraph. Don't forget the Sign Chief needs to attack to give an echo, so he won't even start attacking until round 3 or so. Yeah, but I need him to be able to attack more than once. If I put him on the middle line, I would want to defend him with the Imp, and then the Imp gets killed and I give 25 armor to Talos, so instead I went for the top. Silofight might actually just go mid. It's easier for us to protect later. Hard pass. The max you can get in a single Divine Temple is 50. 25, 15, 10. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So the shard trap on the bottom line is now doing exactly what I'd hoped. I can also go double Queen's Imp, but then the Bog dies. What if I did double Queen's Imp and then Bog Chrysalis on this floor? I like it. Okay, and then we set up the Bog Chrysalis behind. Honestly, I could see the Carapace even being played on this floor. I love this exchange. Wizard 1996 says, "You winning the runs, Tom?" Just as Tom responds, "I don't want to answer that." I feel like that's going to be my mood after I lose a couple runs, you know? But you gotta lose the runs to learn how to not lose the runs that you... Whoa, you have sweep? Okay, that's my bad. Whoops. Okay, so it consumes the Echo Shards that are used for this. Is the new stuff to bait-in, opt-in thing on Steam? Yeah, it is. You have to right-click, go to the properties, go across to betas. Betas and previews, I think, actually might be the tab at the moment. And then tab it down. Egg slurps up candy. Got it. Got it. So I imagine the beta testing community has been calling them candy, considering the people I've seen call them candy are the people that I know would have been involved in the beta tests. I'm in the second cycle, which is the problem, right? So next turn, I have the ability to draw... No, I'm not in the second cycle. I'm literally in the second hand. Okay, never mind. You go here. Do I shard the middle floor still? Or do I shard... I can't even shard anything on this floor. No, I can. Got my own unit. Get out of here. We're getting to smooth brain territory. It's smoothing time. Come on, bring your friends. Okay. So that shard on the top floor is a significant amount of damage at the moment. The enemy does have spell weakness, but I don't have any spells to damage them other than the vent. The vent itself does 12 damage here. Probably want to save the vent for the bottom line. Wanda. How's it going, bud? 6-month gift subscription courtesy of Suron has entered the 4th month. Good lord, Suron! I did not necessarily notice that was a 6-month gift at the time, but... Wanda says, flex that Bane brain. Bane brain! That is how smooth my brain is at the moment, Wanda. Flex that brain bean. I'll do my best. Thanks, bud. Good to see you. Really looking forward to more Parkitects. I mean, unannounced game that we definitely haven't played yet. Hey, Rudolph Rassin, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Tier 1 subscription. Enjoy your modes and chant. One for the Republic. Okay. Sack you up here. Get the infused. We'll only take one hit to that Forged Disciple. The vent goes on the bottom line. Bounding Echoes on a Ritual of Battle. I don't think I want to do that right now. But shoot, this new content looks fantastic. It really, really does. It's all I can do to not just squeal constantly. It's also worth noting, like, part of my expectation of the new content is also based around the fact that the people that I really, really, really respect the, like, mechanical opinions and integrity of in this game have all just been gushing about this. Perhaps where are your units? What units? Do you need units to play this game? Chat, if you need units to play this game, you should have told me. This is on you. Does anyone buy that? Okay, shard trap on the top floor just seems reasonable. Not losing a unit here on the top floor yet. Starting to get to the second cycle. I'm worried. I'm officially worried. Units are just a crutch for lesser players. They're beneath us. Exactly. Who needs units? Units are frankly playing this game at Covenant 0. If you use units, don't even talk to me. That wasn't necessary. That didn't help us at all, did it? You go there. Get out of the deck. Yeah, we're spell-only gamers here. Interesting. I think we're fine. Literally all I need to do is make sure that I don't die to the Forged Disciple on the top floor. Play the Kinhost Carapace in front of the Spine Chief and we're okay. EO, please stop calling it earlier. Okay, Ritual Battle for the damage. Can try and support you with 2 shards right now. Or I can try and do damage on the bottom line, just start getting extra shards on them. That's never really going to be like an actual consistently large amount of damage here. I'll take you out. Then the shard on this floor just locks in 5 damage already. Remember the last time you thought the Kinhost would kill Raps? Yep, I played it with 1 candy. Okay. So it happens after the turn, right? So I can put that there and then shard it, have it die. Shard you, have you die. Oops. Seriously, EO, it's gonna get old if you keep doing it. We have a YouTube vid about this new clan, just got here. Almost certainly. Probably gonna be these kinds of content. One Horn's Tome. Interesting. Okay, so we already have a strike trigger, which is real. Hey, Tick. Tick says, welcome, folks. Hey, folks, rather, sorry. Welcome home, Rhapsody. Good to be here. Chilling on the back porch with my little puppo, GLHF. Please Pat Junior for me. I cannot tell you how many people I have told over the last 10 days about your dog and shown photos. I cannot tell you, because I can't count that high. I'm glad to be proven wrong, but it's fun to be the pessimist. For you, maybe, EO, but it is not fun for everyone else. Please don't do it. Wurmkin Etchings. Consume Infused. Return the 5 consume spells to the top of your draw pile. Yeah, reasonable. Dark Deal, deal 5 damage. Apply Rage 7. Okay. One Horn's Tome. The problem I have with One Horn's Tome is how do I support the health of a unit if I'm going to be making them fragile? It's real difficult, right? The Wurmkin Etchings doesn't necessarily look like it's going to be something I use. Dark Deal is completely fine. We have 2 deranged brutes in the deck. Literally, if I like ignore my actual plan at the moment and just start popping rage on the deranged brutes, we'll be fine. Be totally fine. I think the difficulty of utilizing the One Horn's Tome is probably what I have to avoid. You're adding extra sweep into the pool with shards too. That is a really good point, Heraldophy. I imagine you might be able to add spikes as well, which would be another trap for your fragile units there. That's good. That's really good. That's a really good point. Darkdale. Steelworker, as well as the Alpha Friend and the Kinhost Vessel. I have a lot of banner units right now, don't I? Are eggs banner units? Or are eggs kind of like tombs, channelers, imps, etc.? There's also spikes. Okay, heraldically, thank you. Dirk Straight says, a little optimization. Try to see if you played all of your infused cards before you play the card that benefits from them. Try to see if you played all your infused. Oh, right, because you can overstack the infused capacity. Sorry, I was like, it's got 4. That's the max. Thank you. Thank you. Good point. Very good point. Steelworker Unit Essence might be good if it's what I'm thinking it is. Yeah, that's the one that I'm kind of leaning towards right now. Egg you got from a banner. It's probably a banner unit. It's a good point, well made. There's an egg I got not from a banner though, right? Wasn't this one not from a banner and then I didn't get the other one? I don't remember. What does strike do on your champion? It gives me a candy. And then the candy is a resource that I use on a specific floor to try and get some effect. Strike +5 on the colony. Wow. Monkey Go-Go Beans, is that what I'm supposed to do here? Because strike +5 on every... No, but then I lose the rally bonus. Let's think about this, right? So a spike driver colony goes down. Let's say we have 5 capacity. Let's say we have 5 spike drivers, right? We're going for an optimal kind of like world, but no unit capacity because that's not draw. But if we have 5 of them down, the first one is giving 4 rage. The second one is 12. The third... Oh god, it gets out of control really quickly. By the time you've played the 5th, hang on, oh my god. Let's think about this for a sec. By the time you play the 5th and all of them rally, they are all giving 8 rage to every unit on the floor. Every unit on the floor at that point is 5 units. That's 40 rage introduced to the floor. That is, every unit gets 40 rage. And then they multi-strike, so they've effectively got 80 rage, and rage is worth 2 damage. So everyone gets 180 damage. So the problem with the Alpha Pren strike being the buff on them is just that it leaves me weak early on. That's literally the only weakness to it. But it's also, like, it's better in the resilient phases, right? It gets us to the end of the game. But 25 armor each turn. That is also true, right? Steelworker on that floor, or rather, Steelworker just on all of them is pretty ridiculous too. God. Okay, so we do actually have a weakness we also need to consider in if we have a bunch of spike driver colonies and then we get an infused enemy that just does sweep, or an infused enemy that has spikes, all of our units die. So we need to support their health in some way. That's probably honestly just going to be shop upgrades supporting their health. Either quick so they don't have to take the damage to the sweep, or just plus HP. Good lord. You'll be taking a long time on each of these screens. I think I do take the Alpha Friend. Because it scales against the bosses. But it's so much less cool than trying to rally a ridiculous amount of rage. Alright, chat. Strike or rage? I know rage is cooler. Strike or rage? Battering Ram Dream? The fact that it's opened up in so many different directions is really interesting. Strike, strike, rage, rage, strike, rage, strike, rage, rage. We're one ahead on strike, strike, strike. Rage is cool. Strike, strike. Armor. Cleanse Syrup. I'm aware. Strike, strike, rage, strike. It's really hard, but I like to see rage work. It's pretty equal. Strike is a little ahead. We'll take strike. The reason I'm happy taking strike as well is because still just putting 2 deranged brutes on the same floor and then giving them rage is already really good. Energy. Is energy what we're missing? No. Unit capacity is honestly like a little limiting for us right now, but it'll be more limiting, and then we can actually relieve it in the second boss. Draw obviously looks pretty good. Pretty much always looks pretty good. Gives us the ability to get back to the Kinho's Carapace in the second cycle a lot quicker, right? If it takes us, what are we, 32? So if it takes us 6 draws to get through the first deck, it's pretty slow, right? Energy might help since you took Alpha Friend. Alpha Friend is not going to be played. We'll take draw, and we're probably going to take capacity next time. Okay. Merchant of Steel so that I have the ability to actually try and get some HP upgrades on the deranged brute, some rage upgrades on the deranged brute, multi-strike on the Kinho's Carapace, or quick, health, maybe even rage on Spike Driver Colony. Is this the second run then? Nope, this is still the first run. The Divine Temple's in the next area, so that's where I'm going to be joining the units together. I have the ability to try and go on the left to get the Hersel's Hoard as well as the Merchant of Magic. There is an appeal in that for the ability to decrease the cost of a Ritual of Battle and then try and dupe it in the next area. But that goes up against the Merchant of Steel, so unless this Merchant of Steel holds everything I could ever want, it won't, we're probably going to need to visit the next one as well. There's the multi-strike. Upgrade a unit with +3 damage per gen. Really? Theo, just let me get around to it, bud. Echo Stone, so what? Like, we're gonna lose the max at the end, or rather the overflow. If that's ever +10, it's optimistic. Exactly, right? Is it... The Strength Stone is kind of just better than it. With your champ, that's +3 every round of Relentless. That's actually a pretty good point. That is actually a pretty good point. In Relentless, that's useful. So multi-strike can go on basically anyone. Kinho's Carapace would be pretty happy to have it. Honestly, Spike Driver Colony, they're about to get a... they're about to get a buff. They're pretty happy to have that. I need to support their health some way, though. Rio's first run was based on overfilling crystals, so that's your build. It's pretty good. They need quick and HP, though, don't they? They don't... So, quick and HP are 2 ways of approaching the same problem, right? I don't want my enemies to kill me. I can do that by letting them hit me 0 times because they're dead, or I can do it by tanking some of their hits. Quick is one way of doing that. Health is the other way of trying to do that. Multi-strike and reroll and see what we get. That's where I'm feeling right now. Battlestone... I'm a little thinking about putting a Battlestone on a deranged brute, literally just so that I have an access to a bit of a frontliner. Yeah, I want a frontliner. Large Stone. So Large Stone helps me secure my frontliner here. Right, so that's a floor with 2 deranged brutes. One stands out in front taking the damage, one stands in the back doing the damage. Counter argument, spikes kill regardless of quick. That's a good point, Waldemar. Is Large Stone on the colony a consideration? No, I want to put them all on the same floor. This is effectively doubling their size, which is really, really, really hard to justify. Is it that hard to justify? Maybe I don't run a floor that's all of them. Maybe I don't run a floor that has all of them, right? Because they're just going to get +3 damage per strike, so they're growing by +15 each round. They don't all need to be on the same floor. Since you didn't take rally, they don't need to be on the same floor. Yep, agreed. It's also a lot more health for them. And then I could give the Heartstone to the other unit. Won't it stop you getting more of them, though? I'm assuming they're still going to have the ability to die, and maybe I'm wrong on that. You know, the big worm host gets so big that size 1 doesn't matter. The problem with it getting so big that size doesn't matter is that I really want it to be placed in an area that only takes 2 pips and then expand. It's not bad on the Bog Chrysalis either. Oh no, it is, because I'm really bad at generating power, energy or whatever. Okay. Let's commit to that. Take that plus on the deranged brute. And you know what? I'm just going to stat up the Bog Chrysalis as well. Really probably should have looked at this, but here is the new rare unit. Infused Armor 10. Armored. Armored. Triggers when armor is added to this unit. Gain rage equal to the gained armor. Its effect is give armor 10 and rage 10. It's a demon imp. Hang on. So it's a dual type. It will trigger both imp effects and demon effects? That's appealing. That is good. I've talked a while in the past. I feel like it was probably even before the Friends and Foes DLC, but I was talking about the fact that I felt like there could be more units that hybridized builds in the game. Apex Imp. I don't think I'm going to take it, to be clear here. I really don't think I'm going to take it right now. God, maybe I just should, though. Find armor gain past this point, take capacity, put it on the floor with the rage guys. Okay, I can't turn that down. Stable. This is obviously 2 train stewards at this point. Capacity is our huge problem. It doesn't necessarily fit right now. It doesn't mean it won't. In fact, okay, this does get multi-strike good. Decayer. Strike gain 1, Inspire. Triggers when candy is added to a floor for each candy added. I'm gonna go down the Spine Chief line right now because more multi-strike means like implied synergy with Rage. That's interesting. Gain an artifact in 15. There's 2 more Divine Temples on our part. 3 more Divine... Okay, no, I can't take that. I have to save the shard capacity. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they assume that you are going to be getting more shards consistently. And as a result, the threat level in the previous fight was like 4, and now it's 2. I like it. Non-boss enemy units gain multi-strike. Clipped Reflector, honestly only 5 more damage. Quill Marksman in the back line is a little bit more annoying than that. How commonly am I going to be able to kill them? Any copy of Sharded just kills them. Vent kills them. Them having more damage is kind of necessary for them to be able to kill the Spike Driver Colony. But I don't want them to kill the Spike Driver Colony yet. You can take as many shards as you want. Yeah, I just don't want to die. Everyone's... Yeah, you can definitely go over 100. 100 is the limit at which I'll be fighting a new boss, though. There's no upper limit on them, but they do make the enemies more difficult, so I don't necessarily want to just, like, blow out all of my resources early, you know? I think I can probably do this. Don't tell anyone, diminutive! I'll have to kill you in the next round. Is Higher Covenant better for Wurmkin, seeing as it gives more infuse cards to start with? I guess, theoretically. Yeah. So Deranged Brute and Apex Imp can go on the same floor here. Try and set up Spine Chief on middle or top? Probably middle. Have the ability to strike earlier. There's a lot of units to draw on the first turn. That's what happens when you got a lot of units. Has to happen like that. Okay, Alpha Friend doesn't get played this turn. Sharded definitely goes on you, which gets the kill. And then we'll use an Echo Infusion to try and power up the Deranged Brute that stands in the front line. You die. Spine Chief goes there. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna pop that there and just use it for kind of like damage to keep us alive for a bit, you know? Deranged Brute goes on top. Apex Imp goes behind. Echo Infusion goes on you, and then Animus goes. Apex in front, Armor Imp. Oh, yeah. If I had an Armor Imp, that would be so good, Simon. That would be ridiculous. Unfortunately, I'm no longer able to draft that. Okay, so if we are limited already in capacity on this top floor, just put the Bog Chrysalis there. Nothing else that's growing unit. I infuse the cards in hand. Actually, the only way that I can kill the Collector is if I apply infused cards in hand, use Sharded, and then use Power of Knowledge to deal no damage. No, wait, no, because it happens at the end of the turn and we're going to get 2 candy from you. So never mind, I actually don't have to do that. Literally just shard there as well. Yeah, I will Bonding first. The other card was already infused. That's the reason I didn't do it in that order. Bog Chrysalis here, I guess. Sack you on the bottom line. You've got 3 multi-strikes. You fought in Armageddon. Yeah, I imagine you did. Quite powerful there, friend. Okay, Spike Driver definitely has to go on the bottom line. That much? I know. You're still trying to eat the shell. So we need to get more charged echoes into you. Honestly, top floor is doing fine. You're doing great, sweetie. Will it carry my rage? If it takes the damage, will it carry my rage? Spike Driver definitely wants to go on bottom, though. So just go on bottom. Rage doesn't get transferred. Okay. So if Rage doesn't get transferred, I might actually just want to go Deranged Brute and then Dark Deal here, just so that I can start cutting through enemies. I don't think it carries status effects. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so Deranged Brute goes behind you, Dark Deal. Shard Trap applies for 20 units. Sure, I guess. And then just Queen Simpling on the bottom floor too. Get him. So the champion is a resource to be expended, is how I'm feeling about this run so far. Didn't you not want to play Spike Driver? Oh yeah, I didn't want to play Spike Driver. Oops. I don't have any way of saying it. Saving it, rather. It's fine. It's fine. It happens. A lot to think about here, you know? I keep taking damage on this top floor. What am I even doing? Alright, how am I supporting HP for a fight at the end? Gonna need some way to. So 5 and 5, 13, yeah, that still cuts through. It's 39 by itself already. So we have probably, what, Wurmkin wants to go on this top floor. Where does Wurmkin go? Wurmkin honestly probably ends up going in this mid floor. So if I'm trying to support Wurmkin for the mid floor, I rage you. A shard infuse there. A shard infuse one more time, kill the backliner. No, I vent does the same thing though. Okay. I'm headed with VOD, just want to let you know how excited I am to see you playing Raps. Thank you so much, low levels. Very kind of you to do that. Okay. So mid floor is already holding up for itself. Popping a Queen's Impling out here is just free, basically. Although it does cost me the opportunity cost of putting down a Ritual of Battle instead. That opportunity cost matters. I'm finding it really hard to make eggs hatch. Like, unless I have a plan for getting a giant amount of candy, I think I'm gonna stay away from the eggs for a little bit here. It adds a candy though, right? Yeah, but I can add a candy later. Also, it's only saving 5 damage. Good time for that vent. Okay, so 1 Queen's Impling goes on this floor. And then vent goes on the bottom. Queen's Impling before vent. Didn't get the card we wanted. That happens. How many spells have we got consumed? 1. So we can extract for the plus 10. Extracting for the plus 10 here actually doesn't even give us an extra attack. Literally, it's exact. I can use it to try and support extra hits on the top floor at least. Which I guess is the only thing I can do right now. Pourquoi? I'll read my own unit there so I can actually get the stats. Oh. Okay. Ritual of Battle the backline, huh? Pretty significant damage. Reap as well. Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Go for those two. In host. This is why you got to run a thin deck. So the kin host doesn't kill you. By not turning up at the right time, friendly units get +3. Worn Grindstone. Yeah, totally reasonable. It's +9 damage on a couple of them. Ambient Charge. Extract 3, draw 3, apply consume to drawn spells. Ancient Resonance. Infused. Deal 5 damage to enemy units per gem. Honestly, I think, like, I don't want that hatch unit in my deck at all anymore. Don't think I really want to play it much. This gives us more AoE. It's expensive AoE. But AoE nonetheless. And before I get the Spike Driver Colony set up, it's what I'm going to need. The other was for melee weakness. Impish Scholar. There's also a Pyre Chomper here. Tyson Climb doesn't seem bad either. Impish Scholar currently only returns the Bounding Echoes to my hand. Great. Pyre Chomper, I mean, like, Pyre Chomper is Pyre Chomper and Pyre Chomper is fine right now. Got Lord back by the new DLC. Yeah, got Lord back from Holiday by the new DLC. Show their essences is -4 to the cost of something if you put a Pyre Chomper into it. Wow. That's your Shadow Siege activator. That's your... Well, Shadow Siege is the one that comes to mind most. And then obviously just passes the summon on. Take the Pyre Chomper. I now feel compelled to go to the Merchant Magic, literally just for the Pyromane's health. Demon Friend and Alpha Friend too. It's true, it can go on those, but the one that it really shines on is Shadow Siege. Demon Friend is... It just doesn't scale that well into the late game. Holdover. Holdover Dark Deal's pretty good. Holdover Echo Infusion is actually, like, ridiculous. Support its health, hugely. Eggs are good, but they're kind of anti-synergy with other strats unless you get a ludicrous amount of candy. That makes sense. Holdover Ritual of Battle, that is a choice as well. I think given my energy constraints right now, I would go Dark Deal over that. Let's have a look at some other stuff, though. There's this Hoard. Rage doesn't decay on friendly units. As much as I want that, it doesn't help us with Seraph the Chase, whereas Consumed Crown does. Alright, Divine Temple. What do you got? True Stone. Upgrade a spell with +10 magic power and piercing. Extreme Stone. Upgrade a spell with 30 magic power. Put that on something that's attuned. Get 150 magic power. 150? No. Yes? Yes. 150. Let's engage a pact here, though. The unit to sacrifice. Okay. So we were sacrificing Alpha Friend. And then enhancing Spike Driver Colony. I like that nameplate that it gets. Pretty. Beautiful. Okay, you can revisit the Divine Temple after you've used it as well. That's good to see. I honestly did get a lot of the upgrades that I wanted in the previous store. I could probably tap out of money right now. I wouldn't be too sad about it. So what? Negative cost Ancient Resonance and upgrade it to Holdover even? Because Deranged Brutes are both infused, so is the Apex Imp, so is this, right? And infused triggers before all other events. So that means that this floor literally just has the ability to hold itself. We should purge the mistake spike driver. Purge the non-believing spike driver. It's the Echo Infusion that I'm really stuck on here, because it seems like health scaling is the thing that we're missing. But maybe we're missing health scaling because I keep taking damage to backline units. How about holdover on Vent and give it plus 30 spell damage? That's pretty good. Oh, that is pretty good. That's like Ancient Resonance, right? Is plus 10 and piercing better than plus 30? Honestly, it kind of depends what trials you get as to which of those is better. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because there is a giant gulf of units, right? Backline units have, on average, up to maximum of 10 HP. Okay. Now I feel bad about the Resonance play. There's some big backliners now. We'll fail to deal with that problem when we get to it. Let's go to a battle. Did you just say backline units have 10 HP? Typically. Typically. Right, Purifiers being the largest backline unit at the very end. Like, I'm not counting, you know, your clipped Guardian that's standing behind an armored unit as a backline unit. I'm talking about the units in the backline that deal ridiculous damage. Multi-strike 7 or whatever the heck. I've seen 250 plus HP units with shards. Uh-oh. Non-boss enemy units gain 6 additional damage. Okay, honestly, as soon as I get my first vent, sycophants all die. And I want money. There's vent. We did it! So if I'm setting up rage combos, I set that on the absolute top floor that I have the access to. Spine Sheath goes middle. Shattered Shell isn't bad. It's just not going to survive to units along the way. Maybe I'll just pop the Shattered Shell on the bottom floor. Sack other units in front of it for a bit. So I'm definitely going capacity for the next gem. Where do my spike drivers end up going? They have to be played on the bottom floor. But I still want to get units out of the deck for the sake of it. Vent gets played at the very end of the hand, it'll be fine. Salty Job, thank you very much for the subscription to Tier 1 for the 10th month. It says, remember to practice safety when sacrificing the souls of your units for infinite power, kids. It's serious business. Please take care when you're transmuting the souls of your friends to put them into your other friends to make your other friends more powerful. God. Is this just soul voring? Yeah, there's a capacity gem. Apparently in this DLC, they added a gem that gives you 1 capacity on each floor, so I'm gonna probably play around with taking that a couple times. Ironic, thank you very much for the 100 bits. Says, imagine having to face a Dante boss in Downfall like the mod of this game. That is definitely gonna happen eventually. You've spoken it into existence. I don't like that soul voring is the sentence I came into. HRA. Good to see you. Umbra's soul voring? Yeah, Umbra. Umbra definitely got some soul voring kind of like theme in there. Umbra is also meat voring, yeah. Umbra is just voring in general. It's all eaten and gorge. I mean, come on. Yeah, I think we're now just sacking extra units on the bottom floor. Do I even want infuse on the top? Not really. Cool. How's your vacation? Lovely, Hero-san. It's absolutely lovely. Thank you for asking. Love getting to spend some good time with friends. It's kind of like a very, very grounding time for me. You know? I feel like taking time away from work gives me perspective. When I'm just working constantly, I start feeling like I have no agency at all. It starts to feel like I'm subject to, you know, the release schedule of games, or, you know, the update schedule of other games. Obviously, my own update schedule. It starts to feel like I don't really have control over it at all. I'm in a boat just going down a stream with no oars. And I feel like taking time off reminds me that the oars are there. Reminds me to utilize them. You know? I came back with a huge swath of new ideas for things that I want to do. None of which I'll talk about, because then I won't do them eventually, and then I'll feel guilty about it. But if I don't announce them, then I don't have to feel bad when I don't do them. Let's go for the imp on the bottom line. Shard you, vents. We're actually going to have that hatch. Sup, bogflies? Wow. Oh, never mind. They get +5 per tap. Yeah, okay. So as soon as I actually start casting things, they're going to be good again. Multi-1 or multi-perp light? For which, sorry? This? Only multi-1. Give him a bit of a dark deal in there on the back line. Shards galore. As it turns out, this bottom line rather, is actually quite resilient. I need this spike driver to die though. So, I mean, honestly, if the spike driver goes here, it just does die, right? What happened to the Other Side series running a while back? Did you stop enjoying the game? No, I was sponsored to do 3 episodes. I had a pretty big docket at that time. A lot of other games that I wanted to be playing and working on. And then the sponsorship ended, so I just moved on to other things. Sal, what up, friend? Let me hit the button. The first button presser being back in this seat. Welcome, Sal. For those of you who are now watching a Monster Train stream, you need to know Sal. There's links in the description. The chat. I don't know if I'm on YouTube or Twitch at most times, but you need to know Sal. Introduce yourself to one of the absolute best players of this game that exists. You owe it to yourselves. Echo Infusion Queens. So you've not got anything that's going to be standing into capacity on the top floor. You didn't just miss Sal, Ampy was also there. Yeah, I saw Ampy in chat, so I was like, wait a second, how's that working? Definitely Echo Infuse. I mean, honestly, feels like Queen's Impling just doesn't need to be anywhere. If it goes on the top floor, I'm probably killing it with my own spell on a later turn. So Pyre Chomp of the extra energy so that I can do nothing. Interesting. Probably not the option I'm going to go for. God, this just looks like what? Shard. That's not even going to help us right now. Just kills it for the next round. Gonna consume all of these and then vent. Pass. Might want to reap the driver. I kind of I'm kind of just assuming that the driver is going to end up dying here. Maybe that's a faulty assumption on my part. You have sweep. I forgot that you have sweep. I don't like that you have sweep. I might have to do more damage on the mid floor than I thought, and also you have to get the rage buffs now. $210. So I have the ability to Pyre Chomp this turn. Power of Knowledge is decent too. It's getting to decent at least. I mean, this Chomper can be anywhere, it's fine. Mr. Spike Driver definitely dies, it's true. It and I. Maybe I don't die. It's the fact that it still has lifesteal that's gonna kill me. So plus 10ing the backline doesn't even save us. So literally the only play we can do is try and plus 10 the Deranged Brute and then see where we go from there. That's not going to be enough. In-host my save, couldn't play it. Honestly, closer than I expected. Honestly, for a first run, I'm happy with that. I am more than fine with that. So these are the Divine Victories, Divine Card Masteries, the Last okay, so this is straight up the Last Divinity's DLC bonus. And this is Mastery of the new rare cards for each class, 4 new colorless cards, and then the discovered cards themselves. Great. Let's go into our second run.